the other one, next big one, was they had obviously changed the match to Crown Jewel. We'll get in the Crown Jewel later. I'm not going to read it up now. We'll get in the Crown Jewel later.
Yeah, okay.
But they had to change the match to Crown Jewel, which is the original triple threat, and they had to take Roman out. By the way, speaking of changing advertisements, I know it was short notice, but if I understand they can't change it on Monday, could they please change the advertisement from Milwaukee now and take Roman Reigns out of the commercial? Can we please stop this? Because they're airing this commercial here in Milwaukee about Raw coming to town, and they're advertising a Shield match. Can we not do this anymore?
Subject to change without notice.
Can we please change this now? But anyway, so they had to do something, and they changed the triple threat match to Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar because they're already paying Brock Lesnar to be there, so they might as well keep this match. Or the Saudis paying Brock Lesnar to be there. I don't know. Anyway, not the point. So Braun Strowman, though, Paul Heyman comes out and cuts that promo that Dad was talking about.
Yep.
And I was wondering, I said this to you, Sal, as we're watching the show, how the hell is he going to turn this from a sentimental, like, Roman Reigns thing to, now I have to talk about Brock Lesnar? Like, how the hell is he going to do it? And because he's Paul Heyman...
and he found a way.
Because he's Paul Heyman and he's one of the best. He did. So he turns it. Like, he went from, like, praising Roman, and he did not say it. And the best part was, when he changed over to Brock, he seriously was still complimenting Roman. Like, he still found ways to compliment Roman Reigns while changing the conversation. Like, it was so impressive. Paul Heyman, if anyone wants to see the promo, it was really impressive. But then we find out that Braun Strowman now turned face back to face, which he should never have turned heel to begin with, so this makes sense.
Well,
I agree.
If you saw the little vignettes with Dolph and Drew, it was kind of like you knew something was going to happen, but you just didn't know what.
Well, at house shows over the weekend when nobody knew what was going on with Roman, and Roman wasn't at house shows, Braun was playing face on the house shows. Just obviously a reaction. You know what I mean? And obviously it worked. So, and by the way, I have to give Drew McIntyre some credit. I didn't write this in my notes. I just forgot to write this in my notes. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre trying to be a monster killer, and now being plateaued to the main event. I am really excited about this. I really am excited.
So,
it's the second coming.
I like it. I like the fact that Drew McIntyre is now in the main event. I thought he should have been there sooner. So I'm actually really excited for this.
So, let's look at it in another way. Does this put a wedge between him and Dolph?
No, because I think Drew could be in the main event and have Dolph be his lackey now.
Or set up a feud for later that will help for WrestleMania.
There you
Exactly.
go.
You could do something like that. Like, I honestly could see Braun winning the title, and then Drew winning the title from Braun. I can see that.
With help from Dolph?
Or maybe. Or something along those lines. I can see that happening. And then Dolph having issues with this. That turns Drew face. And then you have Drew versus Dolph at a Royal Rumble or Mania, like Sal just said.
There you go. That works.
You know, I can see it.
That works.
It's possible. 100% possible.
But there you
I
go.
like that, Sal. I didn't think of anything. That was a good call. Very good call.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big moment at the end of the show. No, okay, so let's set this up. The main event is Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre defending the tag team titles against The Shield. One last time, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Now, they set it up this way. They were doing the tribute entrance for The Shield. They came to the crowd, tribute entrance for Roman. They get to the ring, the crowd's going crazy, everyone's behind The Shield. One last time. We have a 25-minute classic between these two teams. I almost feel like, okay, they said, go out there, do what you do best. This is going to be the last time you guys face each other for a very long time. So have a good time and do your thing. I have a feeling that happened there. So they went 25 minutes, and the Shield won the titles. Oh my God. Shield won the titles. The crowd goes crazy. Everyone's going nuts. Everyone's hugging and celebrating. And I call this the hug a stranger moment in the crowd because everyone was like, oh my God, yay, they won the titles. Now, what happened next?
Dean Ambrose turned heel on Seth Rollins.
He hit the dirty. He went for the hug, and then he dropped his belt, hit the dirty deeds, and boom! The crowd turned instantly. I was like, now looking back at it, I was pissed in the moment, but looking back at it, that was such a fantastic heel turn. That was so great.
Yes,
Oh,
I know.
I just wanted this for the record is who called Ambrose turning heel? This guy.
I've been saying it for weeks, and ad nauseum. Sal, what was I saying more ad nauseum? Dean Ambrose is going to turn heel, or the Bellas are going to turn on Ronda Rousey? What was I saying more ad nauseum the last month? And now both have happened. Well, now both have happened in a matter of 3 weeks. So,
but the even bigger question is, how do they defend the tag titles
That's a big question. Why do the title change? That's the question. Is why do the title change? Sal, maybe you can explain.
Because now you have a storyline that goes into at least Survivor Series.
True. I just have it weird. How the hell are they going to have the title? Are they going to do a weird thing? You know what this reminds me of? It is completely legit.
Okay.
And this is going to be calling way back. It just popped into my brain. Do you remember the Taboo Tuesday days when people get the fan votes and all this kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
And they did a match. And we don't bring this guy's name up much because of obvious reasons, but they did a match. I think it was La Resistance had to defend the tag titles against the losers of the world title poll. And the losers ended up being Chris Benoit and Edge, who were bitter rivals. And Chris Benoit and Edge won the tag team titles. But they hated each other. They absolutely despised each other, and to the point where Edge walked off on a title match down the road, and Benoit had to fight for himself, and then ended up losing the belt. I have a feeling it's going to be something like that.
It's just, you have this great match, and you say, okay, you're going to do this for Roman, you have this big dramatic finish, and then, boom, the mic drops.
Let's put the belt on the Revival. Let's put the belt on the Revival. How about that? How's that for an idea? Have the Revival be the ones that beat the Shield. Let's just do that. Come on. And then revitalize the tag team division. I want then do Revival versus All Sorts of Pain. Just get it out of the way.
Well, there you go.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just don't give us Titus Worldwide, because Apollo Crews is busy anyway doing with Elias apparently. By the way, why is Apollo Crews doing a feud with Elias without Titus O'Neil? Why is that happening? I don't understand. Your mouthpiece is Titus O'Neil. Why are you not out here with him? I don't understand the point of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we lead to a question. Originally, when I originally running out the run sheet for this show, I was going to say let's preview Crown Jewel early. We were not going to do that, and because the card's not full on any level. And they're going to probably fill the card up next week, despite the fact that WWE spent most of the damn week talking about a show they can't talk about the location for. Last 2 weeks. But the question I have for both of you, and I'll start with Sal. Should WWE run this show in Saudi Arabia, or should they move it to a new location?
I think there's too much pressure for them to not do it. And I think that if they just go ahead and say, fuck it, it's way too close to the date and we can't do anything about it, I think they'll get a lot of backlash. And who knows what would happen over there? There's a lot of tension over there, and who's to say that with things that are going on here, and if they will retaliate on WWE. You don't know. You don't want to take that risk, but then at the same time, it's way too close to the date. So how do you book a venue and resell tickets in a matter of 2 weeks?
Dad, what do you think?
I think that you should move it to a different location. The location itself is way, way too hot. And here's the thing. If you're putting on a show, you want to guarantee the safety of your employees 100%. And if you can't do that, the next best thing is to basically change the venue to where you can. There's still time to do this. I know the time frame is narrowing, but there's still time to do it. Because if you go on the other side, the flip side of the coin, and heaven forbid something happens to one of your employees, then how do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at some things here. There isn't any news yet because these financials are actually the paperwork came out as we're doing the show, so there hasn't been any news yet. The conference calls it until later on in the morning, so if I get any news, I'll put it up on our Twitter account. But the fact that I'm in a weird situation with this one because I don't like this show. I don't like the fact that we're having this show on any level. I've been saying that for months. The minute back in April, I was not a fan of this show. Back in April, we did the Greatest Royal Rumble. I wasn't a fan of that Saudi Arabia show. I don't like the fact that the women aren't involved. That's just me. But as for this event, oh crap! We've been joking around during the show, Sal. That you can move it here, you can move it here, you can move it here. My problem here is they're already going to be overseas. They're going to be in the UK the week after doing their annual UK shows. Like, they're already going to be in the area. Can't they just even do that? Like, do a show in the UK? Like, just, like, postpone this show. Like, postpone it. Like, can't you postpone it? Like, can't we just postpone the show? It's not like tickets have not been sold in Saudi Arabia yet. They pulled ticket information off the website for this show. So, I don't know what to do here.
Well, my thing is, can't you hold the show on some sort of military base?
That's what Mandy was saying.
Right, and basically have like a great feel-good moment and basically put a nice adrenaline shot to the people. An
impromptu tribute to the troop show without all that.
Right, and it's a big pop and adrenaline push for all the men and women with the armed forces. And it's like a feel-good moment.
An impromptu one. It makes you look good. It makes you look really, really good.
Right.
I don't know. So what do you think about that idea?
Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
It's a weird situation. And it's a weird situation to put the fans in, too. Because it's like we are waiting to hear about a show that we don't even know what's happening. Like, we don't know. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on. Roman Reigns, by the way, is still on the advertising for Ground Jewel. I think that's pretty funny. Look it up on the website. Is he still on the advertising? I think that's funny. Yeah, according to WWE's app. By the way, I clicked on buy tickets, and you can't go to the website for this show at all, which is interesting.
Interesting.
But so that's that. By the way, I don't want to make a note. I didn't put this in my notes. I was rushing this morning. So NXT. If you're not updated on NXT, I'm sorry. I'm spoiling something massive from last night's show. They actually they revealed. Oh, but the first thing that happened, Undisputed Era back together, all four of them. Bobby Fish is back from his injury. That's a big deal.
Wow.
So all four of them are back together. The other big deal that came out of last night, besides Mae and Yim debuting, by the way. Mae and Yim debuted on NXT last night. Okay. That's pretty cool.
All right.
But anyway, the other big thing that came out of the show, they revealed the attacker of Aleister Black last night.
Dum, dum, dum.
Oh, yeah?
They revealed the attacker because Aleister Black. By the way, I love Aleister Black's character because Aleister Black last week interrupted a match between Nikki Cross and Bianca Belair because Nikki claimed that she knew who attacked him. And Nikki Cross, I'm not doing justice to Nikki Cross's character when it comes to the fact that she was able to tell us that she knew. I'm not doing justice at all. The fact that the crowd was chanting Nikki had the secret was amazing to me. That was one of the best moments.
This is the most famous mystery since Who Shot JR.
Well, kind of. So we have on NXT, which I'm watching while I'm sobering up last night. But I'm going to go back in the book. I wasn't watching it live because I was doing the show. So I'm watching it sobering up last night. And they're setting up NXT TakeOver, War Games, which I can't believe it's the next show after Crown Jewel, by the way. It's the next show. But they're setting it up. And William Regal's in the ring. He brings out Ciampa. He brings out Lars Sullivan. And we're thinking we're going to have Lars Sullivan versus Samoa Ciampa, which makes absolutely no sense for storyline reasons because they're setting up Ciampa Velveteen Dreams. I'm not quite sure what they're doing here. But, and then Aleister Black comes down. And Ciampa just leaves the ring. Like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm done. I'm not leaving with this problem. And then he literally hits the black mass on friggin' Lars, making Lars look like a total moron, by the way. And he confronts he goes, I want to see my attacker. And all of a sudden, before Black can say who the attacker is, it was Johnny Gargano. Got in the ring and super kicked freaking Black and said, I'm right here. And that's how it went off the air on Wednesday, on last night's show. Like, oh my God, what a great finish to the show. Wow.
Johnny wrestling?
Johnny Gargano attacked Aleister Black.
So I guess
and Mandy called that weeks ago, by the way.
So
Mandy called it over a month ago.
So now it's official. He has turned.
No, he didn't turn heel. I think he's just tweener, I think, at this point.
Okay.
But I don't mind. I don't mind this. It's a nice surprise. It was a very nice surprise. So that happened at NXT. All right. I want to bring up one other thing that I actually watched this past week. And if the music wants to play, there we go. I've never had an excuse to actually play this song on the show. So I was like, what the fuck are we listening to?